Welcome back to True Crime Unraveled. I'm your host, Robert. I'm joined by Kiki from Swamp Rose today. What we want to talk about is that latest document that dropped about bringing back up the body cam from August 21st, 2022. And they want to verify who Brian is and his car and his address and his phone number. Well, we've already seen all that in the probable crap affidavit. We've seen, we know he lived in apartment 201 there in Pullman on the WSU campus. We know the last four digits of his phone number, 8458. We know what his car looks like. We know what he looks like. I'm just curious exactly why they want to bring that body cam up. Are they unsure that they might have the right person? I mean, what do you think about that, Kiki?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on, Robert. It's nice to be back on your podcast. And, I'll tell you what, I have a couple ideas, but I'm wondering maybe we should read this document so that everybody knows exactly why we're so confused. So, this is the latest document to be released in this case. And I just think that's interesting because right now we're in this limbo phase where we're waiting to see if these Franks hearings are going to be granted by the judge.
Yeah.
And then this pops up. So I'll give you my take, but first I wanted to get it, hear the wording one more time before I went on.
Notice of intent to use IRE 404B evidence comes now the state of Idaho by and through Ashley S. Jennings, Latah County Senior Deputy Prosecutor, and hereby gives notice pursuant to Idaho Rule of Evidence 404B2. The state of Idaho intends to present evidence of crimes, wrongs, or other accounts, specifically video of traffic stop occurring at West Pullman Road, Farm Road in Moscow, Idaho on August 21st, 2022, involving Brian Kohberger and Latah County Sheriff's Corporal Darren Duke, discovered as AV000100. Notice of intent to use 404 evidence. Citation LTC 329000084 issued regarding same traffic stop discovered as Bates 13012-13013. The state intends to introduce this evidence for the purpose of providing defendant's identity, vehicle, address, and phone number. This issue has been previously addressed by the courts in the December 15th, 2023 sealed order denying motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct. Respectfully submitted on this day, February 2025, the fourth day of February 2025. I would just like to know exactly why they're bringing this up now. Are they unsure that they have the right person? Why do they want to re-verify who Brian is when it's clearly been documented for the last 2.5 years who he is and what his car looks like and his address and his phone number? It just don't make no sense to me. And so close to a possible Franks hearing being granted. Why would they bring this up now?
No, it's a great question. So, okay, I keep thinking, so this has to be connected in some way to the Franks hearing. And it sounds like, so this was submitted by Jennings, correct?
Yes.
So this has to be something that the prosecution feels they must show that proves something in the probable, this is my assumptions, I'm just speculating. And by the way, folks, if this is your first time ever stumbling on me, I am not a legal professional. My name is Swamp Rose. I'm a YouTube creator / housewife. But my thought is that the prosecution has to address something that the defense is bringing up in terms of this Franks hearing. So I'm like, okay, well, what could it be? And if it has to do with identifying the car, the person, or something about that, I'm thinking maybe is it the bushy eyebrows? Do they have video where he has bushy eyebrows there, and then after his arrest, maybe they've been since trimmed? That's a thought. I mean, I don't know, folks. I'm just, what do they call it? I'm just improv here,
Speculating.
speculating. And the other thing is, well, they want to verify there was no front license plate. Probably that could be it, possibly. But I mean, I think that can be proven so many other ways. The other thing is, I was thinking, when all this controversy about what direction Brian went, could they be trying to verify something and I'm just speaking, what could they be trying to verify in the probable cause affidavit? Could it be something about the direction? Now, if you go like further into speculation, people have always said, oh, well, it could be like a behavioral thing in that video that they are looking for. Well, I don't think that that's brought up, as far as probable cause to arrest. That's what we're focusing on now. So I don't think it's that. And then another thing is, I don't know, could there be something connected to one of the survivors that has to do with that traffic stop? I know that sounds wild and crazy, but I also had never heard the survivors to this crime mentioned so much as they actually were in these hearings recently. So, I mean, I don't know. We know there's no connection to the victims. We know there's no connections, that they've produced yet to the victims of the house, although that was a long time ago they said that. But could it be a connection to a survivor? I don't know. Back at you. You let me know your thoughts, Robert. What do you think?
Well, I mean, yeah. If you're going back to the probable cause, why would Mowry want the records for Kaylee and for Kaylee and Dylan's phones? Yeah, and I mean, yes, it's redacted now, but he wanted the cell phone records, location data, anything for the phones of Kaylee and Dylan. The way he put it was, they have these phones have possible evidence of the murders, but this was months before the actual murders. So exactly what was on Dylan's phone about the murders and what was on Kaylee's phone about the murders. Yeah, and why would Mowry think that this would be probable? This would be probable cause to have these two cell phones searched. And from the best of my knowledge, is the Gonzalez family has not got Kaylee's phone back yet. Which is weird. Xana, Maddie, and Ethan, their parents have gotten their phones back, but as far as the last interview I saw of Steve and Christy, they still have not got Kaylee's phone back, and they said they may not get it back until this is all over with. So exactly what did Kaylee have on her phone that would prompt the police to keep her phone well past the trial? I mean, like you said, could there be a connection somehow? Not specifically to the murders, but to Brian. Yeah, could there be something in her phone that the police don't want the Gonzalez family to know? I mean, is it a possibility?
I think so. I don't know if maybe I think that you're bringing up a good point. There could be a possibility that there's something sealed in there, something so important in there they don't want the parents to have it back, and they can't go deleting it off of the phone because of That's a great point. But back to talking about the search warrants, I do have a couple thoughts on that. So everybody was talking about that for a good hot minute here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I heard a rebuttal to this. So I think we've gone over that subject. It is mysterious why you see Kaylee and DM grouped in that warrant back for those time frames.
Yeah.
But then I've heard some counter arguments that all of them were traced back there. It was just in different types of warrants. So I don't know, but what I find very mysterious when you guys all talk about that, what makes me like super suspicious, and I haven't heard this anywhere, so you might even want to make this the title to the video, I don't know. But here's the thing. They're willing to give us DM's name, saying that they're looking for evidence of burglary and homicide back in the summer of, 2022 before the unalivings, but they're not willing to unredact DM's name and the extended financial subpoenas that were made in the summer of 2023, where we have all the victims asking for their financials extensively, and then we have the 2 redacted names. So we're assuming they're the surviving roommates, but they're redacted. And the language in there is just extensive financial records through the Department of Labor. So it's kind of weird that the names are redacted there, but they're not redacted in the search warrants that have the language of homicide and burglary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just an odd
I understand what you're saying.
So I haven't heard anyone say that, but it was occurring to me as you're talking, like, why the heck do we know DM's name here but not there?
Yeah.
So who else? Maybe it's not even DM and BF. Maybe it's some other 2 people involved in this that they were looking for like super extensive financial records on, and that's kind of scary. We don't know anyone else,
Yeah, the only thing that came to my mind when you were saying this was Emma Bailey, because we know that she's had ties to that house, and she's been spotted on body cam leaving that house one night during a party. It was Emma Bailey and one of her friends. And so, and we all know about what happened with Caleb Young and Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson being charged with murder, and then the charges were mysteriously dropped on them, and Caleb's friends stating that Demetrius actually tried to save his life. He tried to save Caleb's life. So maybe that's why the murder charges were dropped. I mean, we'll never know. It just seems like since we've gotten further and further into this case, Demetrius and Emma have become an enigma. Like, you don't hear about them anymore in this case. After them getting arrested in Centralia, Washington, over the death of that Sigma Chi kid, Caleb Young. I mean, you don't hear any more about them. It's like they completely dropped off the face of the earth. And when they were so prevalent in the beginning of this case, especially with Emma being spotted at the house, and of course, the body cam of her being drunk and then taking something out the back of her pants and throwing it in the trash. They're in the police station, but after that, no more. You don't hear about them no more, and that is just so odd to me. Even just like Ashlyn Couch. I mean, you didn't hear from her, and then she came out with that interview, and then she was all the talk here on YouTube, and then just like died off, like no more. And people said that she was the 6th roommate that Xana actually took over, like sublet her. Ashlyn sublet her room to Xana, but Xana's name was never removed off the lease. But we'll never know about that because the house is gone now. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, as far as the first thing is on all 3 of those people, I have zero comment. Number 1, and number 2, they aren't public figures. So unless there is some connection or involvement to the case, the reason they're falling off is because they don't want to appear in the media. So yes, if we find something that we haven't seen that needs to be presented, I can understand why somebody would, but me personally, I have no desire to report on non-public figures that I can't find a direct. But like I said, Robert, if there's a new connection, like with this new paperwork, or when we start talking about all these other aspects, if it's true there is an an informant or a confidential informant, or there's something with the DoorDash driver or something, I totally will talk about it again. But at this point, with those three people, I don't really have any other comment. No
Yeah, I
offense.
mean, neither do I. I just thought it was odd that they dropped off the face of the earth after being so prevalent in the beginning, and they're out there, they're living their best life. So, I mean, it's not on me to drag them down for doing that. I was just stating that they were so prevalent at first, but now they just dropped off. And I mean, like you stated, they're non-public figures, and they're living their best life. They're doing whatever they want to do, and more likely what you said was, they don't want to be involved in the media. So we're just gonna leave it at that. I mean, they were prevalent at first, but now they're gone. So that's just a thing here on YouTube. Someone's prevalent, then they disappear. You know.
100%. Yep. That's exactly how the cycle of the true crime. It's like, I think it just cycles through. So if we hear something that's interesting to the case, we look into it, we find out if we want, and it either continues or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Either there's something there or there's not really anything there.
Yep. Okay. I want to thank Swamp Rose for being on the channel today. This is Robert with True Crime Unraveled, and we are out. Peace.